All right, we're back. Sorry, I was having some camera issues. All right, everybody. Dude, I'm having camera problems. I don't know if anyone else has a GoPro. I think this is a GoPro 4. I am having all sorts of problems with this thing. My wife bought this for me so we could start doing this. This thing overheats like nonstop. I barely get about an hour of battery out of this thing. If I'm lucky, literally I'll put it in my car, drive from my house to work, and it's dead. If anyone out there has a solution or something for me, let me know. I am really struggling with this camera. It's frustrating to me because my wife spent some money on it. It's a little frustrating to me. Anyways, now I'm done with my rant. I'm back on this. I really hate how the GoPro 4 also goes black in the back of the screen when you're using it, so you can't see what you're recording, but it's what I'm working on. I'm glad my son's good at editing these videos out because this camera frustrates me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But this is what we're working on. I'm back on this. I got both shelves on. I left these long on the front. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut them off or not yet, but I did want to show you. I got my GoPro, sorry. It's plugged into the charger over there just so it'll keep recording because it won't record unless it's plugged in. So this might be a little iffy as I do this because I'm pulling an extension cord around with me. When I originally built this thing, I'm just gonna lay this on here so you guys can kind of see. So I made it so that back would fit on there. I mismeasured somewhere. I'm not quite sure where I messed up, but I got a little bit lucky. So as you can see, this is overhanging on that side just a little bit. I'm gonna cut that off. And this distance right here is about 6 inches. So I'm gonna run just a 2x6 across his back because I kind of wanted this lip on the back to keep stuff from falling off this way. So I'm gonna put it that way. If I go the other direction, like I said, if I line this, sorry, this is gonna be a little rough. If I line it up just a little bit off with the scrap wood that I had, I don't know 100% what I did wrong, but I messed up per my measurements, per the scrap wood that I had. I actually wanted the shelf this big, and I measured this piece. I thought it was there. It obviously was not. So I messed up, but I got lucky because when I turn it the other direction, whoops, it still works out. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but like I said, this is just storage for my products that I'm building off my router. So I have just enough where I can put another 2x6 right here, and it'll give me that, I think this is a 2-inch gap right here, to where my stuff won't fall off the backside this way. It'll keep my products in. So you can see I got my top shelf. This is my bottom shelf where all my products are gonna sit. And then I'll be able to put my boxes down here. So I'll cut that off. I'll get that, I cut that 2x6 right there that you see leaning, that one. I'll put that across the top. That'll keep stuff from falling off when I put it up there in the loft. So stuff won't fall off the back. Like I said, this is nothing fancy. I am no woodworker. I can do some stuff just because I have a router, and this is all scrap wood pallets that I got from work. Just trying to make some storage for myself so I can put my products on. So as I make them, I can set them up there. Then when they ship, I can just pull them off the shelf, cut more, put them back in inventory. So that's kind of where I'm at. A little bit of day-to-day life, I guess. Not really anything super fancy that somebody's going to build. This thing is, it's pallets. We're on another job too. My parents gave me, they did not like how big their yard was, so they cut a whole pile of sod out of their back of their yard, about 10 foot off their fence all the way around because their yard was way big. So they've been dumping sod at my house, and it's not the greatest sod. It's not like cut with a sod machine. So it's kind of chunks, pieces, but we don't have any grass in our backyard. We have like 5 acres up here. So we built a cover over the back of our house where a hot tub sits to try to keep it out of the weather. But we want some grass. So my parents cut all this sod out. They kind of pulled it out with like a bobcat. So we've been kind of really hard at that. We're going to record some of that just so you guys can see how country I kind of am, I guess you could say. We're using our snow plow to kind of pull it back. My dad rented a dump trailer, and he essentially had him drop all the sod in the dump trailer. Then he's been dumping it on the east side of my house. So we've been trying to pick through it, and it's about 4 inches deep, and most of it's topsoil. So when you're trying to pick through, trying to find the pieces of sod, it's been interesting. So we're going to get some video of that too, so you guys can see. It's pretty comical to me, but it eventually will grow together. We live out in the country, in the prairie, so not a whole lot of grass out here. Our front yards, we had hydro-seeded and grass, but we'll show you what we're doing. We're using our snowplow to kind of pick back the piles of sod. It's entertaining. I find it comical. Hopefully you guys do too. All right, guys, I did want to show you this. This is a pretty cool little bit. I bought it at my local hardware store. You can see that drill bit it's a tapered bit, and then it has a chamfer right on the end. So it actually cuts for the head of your screw, and then this is tapered, so when you're drilling through something, it makes a perfect pilot hole, and then it leaves a chamfer for the head of your bit. Depending on how far you want to sink it, if you're going to sink it further, you can put like they got like these little wood, like they're almost like a dowel button head. I'm not even 100% sure what they call them, but once you sink your screw in, you can beat this little piece of wood in there, and then you don't see your screw head. I'm using it mainly because it just makes it so this pallet wood doesn't crack. So I run this through, and it gives me just a little bit of a chamfer to sink these heads in. Ran out of cord there, but you can see it allows me to sink my heads in a little bit. If you want to sink them further, then they have these little wood dowels. They're not even a dowel, they're just like a cover piece. So they make these little guys. This is a button top, so if you wanted to, you could essentially put that right in the top, and then you just tap it in with a hammer. Then you have this little button head. Once you get this flush, it has a little button head on the top. I'm not going to do that for this. This is, like I said, it ain't fancy furniture. It's just storage for my product. So I just needed a workbench, somewhere to store my stuff, put my Hello Fresh boxes. So I just wanted to show you that bit. It's pretty freaking cool. It makes a perfect hole so this wood doesn't split, because most of this pallet wood is pretty iffy at best. That's why I'm using it for this. It makes really good forms for like concrete and stuff, which I'm also doing. That'll be on the next video when I show you my lawn project I got going on. I did use a lot of this to put up some forms where I'm going to pour like a little concrete pad behind our house underneath of our patio essentially. So you'll see that on the next video. If you guys are subscribing, please do. Like, subscribe for sure. All right, everybody, I got a problem. It's like, I don't know, 10:30 at night. I got this thing kind of scabbed together. I'm stuck. I can't get by my racer. This thing's a little heavy. My son's not here. He's actually at his house. I thought it was kind of comical. We'll figure out how I'm gonna get this by here by myself. Sometimes I got this big old black Jeep over here. It's been sitting for a while. She's a little dusty. She's got some transmission issues. Another project list. Sometimes I'll take the winch cable and I will run it up to the rafters and lift it into my loft through this hole right here. I left this hole here mainly for my kids. Once I start putting the ceiling in this shop, I am actually going to put a fireman pole right here for my kids so they can come off the loft and slide down. So when I'm out here working and mama's gone, kids have something to do. That's why that hole's there. I think you guys probably saw it in like previous videos and you were like, why did he do that? That's why I did it. Like I said, I'm gonna reinforce the ceiling right here and I'm gonna build a fireman's pole so my kids have something to play on while they're out here with me when I'm working, so I can work and they can play and we can still spend time together. So that'll be another future video, I'm sure. We'll see how this goes. I don't know if I'm going to put it on bearings so it actually spins or what I'm going to do yet, but yeah, it's in the makings. And that big black Jeep, that's another making. I've been looking for a Hemi for it. I built that when I was like 19. It's been rough. I didn't know a whole lot when I was 19 and I built that thing. It's got a full exo cage. It's got a 96 Camaro motor in it. Turbo 400, 205 transfer case, twin sticks, Dana 60s. In the rear, it's got like a mutt kind of 44 10 bolt in the front, ARB air lockers front and back. I'm tearing transmissions out of it every time I drive it. So I've always wanted to put a Hemi out of a Grand Cherokee in it. It's a 93 Grand Cherokee. I've had this Jeep since I was 19. I bought it and then I drove it for quite a few years and then I tore it apart and built this. It's got sway weight coilovers, the biggest ones they make. It's got all the right pieces. It's got air bumps, ARB air lockers. It's got a lot of the right stuff. I'm just having a tough time putting it together, but that's in my future. Same with this truck. This has been in my family for 4 generations. I'm the 4th generation own it. My great grandpa bought it. My grandpa owned it. My parents owned it. They gave it to me on my like 24th birthday, I think. That'll be another video. I got a little bit of rot. There's a little bit of rot in the floors and the rockers. So that'll be coming out too. I got to order some parts for this one for sure. And I got to find a motor, transmission, transfer case for that. I really want to do a Hemi out of a Grand Cherokee in it. Like a newer Grand Cherokee, like 05 and up. I'll probably use the transmission out of the Grand Cherokee. I've been looking on Copart. I do a lot of stuff off Copart, or used to do a lot of stuff off Copart. But I want to find a wrecked one and pull the motor, transmission. I might use the transfer case. I really want to put an Atlas in it. We'll see where I go. It's a money situation for me. We'll see. This is fun stuff. So in the future, for sure, you guys will see this. This thing's sitting on 38s and 1 tons. It's pretty cool. It's got full hydraulic steering. It's got all the good parts. It just, I haven't ever been able to 100% put it together the way I want to. The exo cage is pretty cool. I was young when I built it. I wasn't the greatest welder at that point. You can really see the progression from when I started this till now. This Jeep is way better. Just the welds on it and stuff are way better. I knew a lot more when I built this Jeep. But the good thing about that Jeep is I learned a lot to build this one really good. So this is a really good one. This is my tough truck, my racer. It's pretty awesome. It stays together. You know, I don't have to work on a whole lot. I air up tires pretty much. Minor issues when we're racing. You know, we've had battery issues hitting the cage because stuff loosened up after jumping it, but it's a pretty good Jeep. So yeah, so I'm going to try to get that thing up there tonight and kind of show you guys what I got going on. I'll get all my products and my boxes and everything in there. So you guys just kind of see what I did and why I did it, because I just need some storage. All right, I'm struggling a little bit. This thing's a little heavy. I put you up here on the loft so you can see I've lifted it up on the back of my tire rack, on the back of my racer. I'm going to try to get this thing up here. I just wanted to see you guys watch me struggle because I'm sure everyone out there struggles a little bit. So now you're going to see how I struggle in my shop by myself at like 10 o'clock at night. this thing's light. Wish I would have thought this through a little bit. That was a freaking struggle. Me being smart, I didn't move my garbage can or nothing out of the way. I just right up the stairs. So I got up the stairs to here. I got a lot of stuff in the way. I should have thought this through a little bit, but it's late. I'm tired. I just want to get it up here and get it done. So I'm gonna move that, get it over here, then I'll show you guys. I'll get everything kind of set up and show you why I did this. All right, we got this thing up here. It wasn't easy by myself because that's all 2x6s. I'm not a big guy, and those stairs are pretty tight. I mean, they're tight. That thing was pretty much side to side. It was tight, and I got a plug right down there. I put that plug in. I got 4 plugs on every 10 feet of 110, and I have a plug on every wall of 220 when I built the shop because I didn't want to run out of power anywhere. I wanted to plug in anywhere. I got this extension cord running up here. It piles up there. It runs my vacuum and my router there for my trim router. I don't have power up in this loft. There's no plugs up this high. This is 14-foot ceiling. I don't have any plugs up here, so I had to run extension cords. My router actually plugs in behind my black Jeep there. So I have an extension cord running up to run my router. Then another one running up this way. Someday I am gonna wire in power up here so that I have it. Because I don't want to run off extension cords forever, but currently this is what I got. This is what I'm working with. Everything's super expensive right now. I'm just not willing to pay for it. So, but I didn't want to show you my bench. So got my HelloFresh boxes down there. I put this 2x6 up here so nothing can slide off the back. I can work here. These are my packages. These are actually 4 mil. I'm going up in size because they do have a tendency to rip a little bit. That's what I package all my product in. I'm gonna make some kind of box, probably on my CNC, to be able to pull these out. It'll be there, and then I'll have all my products. I got 3 of them right there. I don't have them all made right now. I'm waiting for some plastic to show up, but I'll put all my products down here, my shipping boxes down there, so I should be able to use this top bench to do all my deburring and stuff, so I keep some of my plastic from my wood stuff. All my products will be down here. We have my shipping boxes down here because I'm just using HelloFresh right now. Boxes because we have them. I don't want to burn them, so I just use them to ship my products in. Yeah, it's gonna work out good, and then I'll still be able to access this. Like I said, this is gap that you saw from the bottom. So I'm gonna put a fireman pole right here, so my kids can go off the loft. I'm gonna build a pad down there, probably out of several layers of foam. So if they slide down, this loft's only, I think it's 8 foot, I think. So when they slide down, they'll be able to hit the pad. I'm gonna move this stuff. It's just sitting here right now. This old truck's gonna move. I'm gonna move my racer. All this stuff will kind of shift around, so my kids have somewhere soft to land, and I don't want them to hit this old truck because I love this old truck. So that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, it's nothing fancy. I just needed a little bit of storage. I should be able to put, I think this is 10 inches, so I'll be able to put 10 here and 10 here, so I'll be able to store 20 products and be able to ship right out of here. We've been shipping out of here anyways. I just needed somewhere to put the stuff because you can see I kind of got, it's a limited space up here. It's only, I think it's like 14 by 14, but I got my CNC machine up here, my computer, my trim router. Now I got this storage, got seating, I got heat up here because I don't want to heat the whole shop when I'm up here. I kick this thing on and run it for like a half an hour, and it kind of holds the heat right here. So it works out pretty good. But I definitely need to deal with I got some other stuff to deal with too. We're kind of starting at this, so I got all my wood products here that I've been cutting, other stuff, domino holders, card holders. What else have I cut? Signs, just out of wood. But we're getting there. It's a slow process. You know, we're trying to make products and ship them and build and design new stuff too at the same time. So we'll see. I got to deal with this, my vacuum. I got to get a central vac system up here. You can see I got 2 vacuums. This one runs my CNC. That runs my trim router, and that one's horrible. I'm not a big fan of it. It just doesn't work real well. So I got to deal with that. I'm going to put a central vac system somewhere up here. I might move my tires out and put a central vac in that corner. Not a central vac, sorry. A dust collection system, because I'm going to use that vacuum because it works very well. I just have to empty it a lot when my CNC's running, cutting all this plastic. And that one just, it's just not real good. I'm probably going to replace that one altogether. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, it gave me some storage, a workspace, so it's going to work great. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get these views up so I can work from home.